Hey, and welcome back to Talk a Better Politics, podcast number 2. We need to take this banner off because we are definitely not watching a movie right now. All right.
Nope.
Yep. So, this is our second show. This time we're going to talk about some fun stuff like a better world and how shitty the tax bill is, which has a dumb name.
The big beautiful bill.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
That's so fucking crap.
It's as pretty as like an old man talking about his like underage daughter and how he wants to sleep with her.
Yeah, it's as pretty as Trump's diaper, you know?
Yeah. The golden diaper. All right. I do have one news story though, and I found this one today, and I should be doing stuff from the past week, but instead, well, it's from yesterday. But it is interesting news. Interesting. Former Trump supporter Pamela Hemphill, or whatever her name is, refuses and returns her January 6th pardon.
What?
Yep. She is a former MAGA loyalist from Idaho, and she is saying no to the tariff. The pardons just contribute to their narrative, which is all lies, propaganda. We are guilty, period.
I mean, golf clap. But also, like, dude, take advantage of it. Like, okay, you're saying you're guilty. You're admitting I fucked up. You're saying Trump is shitty and everything. I like, dude, when it comes to jail and prison and shit, like, if you get an out, man, I don't care what your moral compass is. Like, you should take that out, especially if it's a legit out. you know, like, I get it. You think you feel like you're guilty. You want to, make up for that somehow. Prison time is not it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just glad at least one of them has like a fucking somewhat of a moral compass these days.
Yeah, no, I applaud the moral compass. I just think that like she changes nothing.
Yeah, I mean it's one of 1,500.
Yeah, and like, and she's saying there about the narrative. I mean, I guess we're talking about it. We heard about her story through the news, so like she's doing something. But is she changing anything? I think she's just basically punishing herself at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's good, but does nothing. Yeah, I mean here this was her.
Is that a real gun? That doesn't look real. That looks like some kind of fake shit, dude.
I have no clue what that is.
It looks like a gun.
Yeah, that or like something out of Doom.
Yeah, it's like some kind of fake ass dude. If that was a real gun, if Granny pulled the trigger on that thing, she'd fly across the fucking room. There's no way. Okay, like I get it. She seems like she's developed morality. That's good. But like, why do these people tend to think that they're like in any way intimidating or scary? You got these like 60-year-old. Midwestern moms that pose with fucking guns and shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, funny story related to guns, and like since this one looks like a Nerf gun, recently it was at this point 12 days ago or so, the police department for the city I live in decided to ban those little pellet guns, not like a BB gun, but like it's the water gel bead things.
Oh yeah, okay.
Decided to ban those in the city. Like you can use them in your backyard, but you can't use them out in the street, can't use them in parks because dipshits were painting them and modding them to look like guns.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they just decided to ban it. They put it on the same line as like bows and arrows and BB guns and airsoft rifles.
That's stupid. And like, look, airsoft guns can look pretty damn realistic. You could even take like the orange or paint over the orange on them and shit. Like I used to play the shit out of airsoft. I'd go to specific like dedicated airsoft places to play with people. You have guys who wear like full on real tactical gear and shit, like bulletproof vest, fucking helmets, everything. You could go do that and have fun with that. Just don't go shooting that shit in the city. Don't fuck with other people with that stuff.
Yeah, and anybody who's asking what these are, it's these things. Like they're little tiny plastic beads or silicone beads that when you soak them in water, they turn into like, I mean, they're not huge. Like the eraser of a pencil, like that size.
Pea size, basically. They're
yeah.
Yeah, and they don't really hurt. Like airsoft hurts more than these things do. But yeah, they're like Orbeez. Yeah, they're basically Orbeez. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like these, I could see people probably being like, "Well, that looks a little too much."
Yeah, but
Like
it is
this one
legal.
specific.
That's like because there's dude. You should see some of the airsoft guns these people have, dude. Like if you didn't
Yeah.
know that it was an airsoft gun, you would never know. Well, until they pulled the trigger anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like they can get pretty fucking realistic. So I get not swinging them around in the city. That's kind of asking for shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, look at the dude. Look at that. Okay, look at that M16 shit on the bottom left of these 3 pictures here. Look at the shit that they have on there. That's a drum magazine with it looks like a grenade launcher. They've got like some red dot and a scope behind the red dot, and they still have the back iron sight up.
Well, you need to have all your different like reticules.
Dude, yeah, it's got to be tactical, dude.
Yeah, I do like this scope though.
Yeah, it's cool. That's actually pretty. The whole gun is pretty cool. But are there active gangs in your city? Sparrow is asking. I believe there's active gangs in every city at this point.
Yeah,
they just change. Mm-hmm. Like back in the day, it was the Bloods and the Crips. Those were the big ones.
Yeah, geez, a 60,000 round drum.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What the hell? That like Uzi looks like it has a grenade on the top of it. That's what holds the Orbeez. That's stupid.
Yep.
But yeah, don't go swinging around your fake guns in the city. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, don't take pictures of them like this because that's also stupid. Especially saying something dumb like that. You're going to Washington, D.C.
I'm on my way to do terrorism. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yep. What the fuck? God, dude, these people, you gotta like, of all the shit you could say about conservatives / Trump cultists at this point, you have to admit that they are an endless source of entertainment.
Oh yeah,
they really are.
100%.
They're good for that, at least.
All right, let's get on to our other topic about the tax bill. We're going to start with the not main topic that people are talking about. We're going to talk about how it's affecting workers. And yes, there is the good thing in there that people approve of. Like I approve of it. No tax on tips. Fully agree. Don't tax people who are getting tipped.
Here's the thing, though.
For regular workers. I'm not talking about CEOs and their scummy douchebag way of getting around it. Like I'm talking about like waitresses. Don't tax the waitresses on their tips.
But that's the only reason they're adding it is so billionaires can get around shit.
Yeah.
Like
so Musk can say like, oh, all my payments are just tips.
Yep.
And then zero taxes.
Tips. Yeah.
And then no tax on overtime. I also agree with that. But again, it needs to be for just the regular working class.
Yep.
Not the CEOs, not the big businessmen.
And that's why you don't do salary, folks.
Yeah. But let's go into this one. This one is by what is their name? National Federation of Federal Employers or Employees. I can't read the word. Too small. But the self-proclaimed big beautiful bill got through the House, and it is quite disturbing. Especially since Trump came out to them and was like, you guys better do this or else it's like you're doing a disservice to this country. It's like, no, it's not a disservice to the country. It's not bowing down to a dictator.
Yep.
A moronic dictator.
Oh, he's fucking dumb as hell.
But it has a 4.4% FERS for all, forcing all federal employees to contribute 4.4% to their retirement plan. A 3.3% increase for many, which is going to affect your paycheck.
Yep. Everybody's going to feel that.
Yep. Extorting new hires into political servitude. Republicans propose offering new federal employees a lower FERS contribution rate. I can't talk today, but only if they agree to be hired under Schedule PC, a political status that strips away job protections, appeal rights, and union eligibility.
That's super fucked. That is super fucked. And it's more of the elite trying to kill fucking unions. So a little side with that, like when I don't know, but like maybe you got the same shit I did when you were growing up, because we're the same like age group. Like unions when I was growing up were shit on by everybody older than me. They were like, oh yeah, unions are shit. They steal your money. They don't do anything. You never want to be a part of a union. They look down on unions. I know it's not the case for everyone, but at least in our area that we're at now, but where I was when I was a kid, that was a general view on unions. But that's kind of changed, and sympathy towards unions has grown, and people like the idea of unions. People are on board with it, especially young kids, as they're learning, oh, there's a way to guarantee that I don't get fucked by my employer. Okay, yeah, that sounds cool. But yeah, I pay a little, fee or whatever, which it's usually not that much, and they'll ensure that I don't get screwed over. And like, let's say you're at an at-will state, they make it so you can't get fired as easily either. So since the sentiment towards unions has changed, they're going to try and do, they're going to try and pass laws that stifle unions, that stomp them out and prevent them from even happening. But that's why you're going to see a lot more of this type of shit in particular.
Yep. All right. Cutting first responders' pensions. Enough said.
Why?
Yep.
The people they call heroes too.
Yeah, they support the blue, right? They back the blue.
Yep.
But yet punishes law enforcement officers by cutting their pensions.
Yep. And all that, those billions and billions of dollars that get pumped into fucking police forces just goes to more weapons, or in the pockets of the people who run them, or all the places that they shouldn't go, instead of the people actually doing shit. Maybe they could put, because they're taking pensions, they could put that money into actual training for police officers, but they won't do that either.
No, they just hand them a gun and say, see that, shoot anybody who moves.
Yeah,
they breathe, shoot them.
I feel like most people assume that there's like genuine training and practice for police officers, specifically in firearms and shit. There isn't.
Well, it's because we've seen this movie series called Police Academy.
Yeah. Like, well, there is the quote Police Academy, but like after that, you don't have shit. Like they barely train. They just go to the range and shoot sometimes, but it's like you're not actually training for active situations. Not your beat cops anyway. Like SWAT and shit, from what I've seen, they train and shit. But your active officers, who are the ones doing the majority of the killing, don't train for any of this shit.
Yeah, and this right there. It's gonna cut their pension. Yep. So yeah, no one wants to be a firefighter anymore. Like that, there goes that. Yeah,
and as California, isn't it still on fire? Like it's just
it's always now? On fire.
Yeah, like California is always burning now.
Yep. And then for the places that aren't first responders that still have pensions, they're going to change the formula for that, changing the pension calculation from a high 3 to a high 5% average salary formula would reduce almost modest retirements, would reduce already modest retirement benefits, despite decades of employee contributions.
Yeah, we're not retiring anyway. I would get more mad about that if we were actually able to retire, but that's not. I mean, even our parents aren't fucking retiring.
Yeah, I mean, by the time we're eligible to, I believe the age is, well, there's talks from the Republican Party right now to move it up to like something stupid, like 79 years old. But last month, I believe it hit 72, and that was a thing that was voted on or basically put in place under Reagan.
Yeah, and the majority of us aren't even making it there. So
yeah,
not at this point, especially with our healthcare. But yeah, no, so we're just going to die before we retire.
Yeah, because I think they were saying like the average lifespan of someone in the U.S. is like 80, it was 84, 86, something like that. So yeah, they want us to basically work up and have like maybe 2-3 years left until we die.
Yep.
You can have a couple years of freedom. paying off your mortgage and not have enough money to live off of because we're cutting everything else.
Yeah, Carlito says the French would burn the country to the ground. Yeah, they fucking would. We should.
Yeah, I did a video on that. People got mad at me. They didn't agree, and it's like,
what?
Yeah, people didn't agree. They're like, well, this was already voted on. We already proved this. It's like, does that make it okay that just this year it changed again? It went up because of the stupid thing that was agreed upon? We can change things. You can actually vote to have something changed. We've done that before. We have changed laws.
See, two things with that. One, the majority of the people, they're literally fucking like blue-red brained. So they're like, oh, go with whatever the fucking party says. And then once something is done, oh, it's just how it is. That's just how it is. Think about the idea of trying to like inject the idea of
bleach.
Of bleach, yeah, no. But to when you talk about the potential of voting for a third party with anybody, mainly with left-wingers, or I should say Democrats and liberals, they can't fucking comprehend it. And they say that there's no point on voting for a third party because this is how it is. Blue's going to win. Blue is who we have to go with. So they literally, they can't fathom anything outside of what we have.
Yeah. And it was the House that voted on it, not us, but we elected those people. So they're saying that we voted for it.
Yep.
It's just like, but if you tell a Trump supporter, like, all this bad stuff that's happening, you voted for that. No, I didn't.
I didn't. Yeah, you fucking did. Yeah, you did. It's like
you elected all these assholes that did it.
That one guy, he was some politician dude who was talking about that he didn't read this bill, even though he voted on it. And the crowd was like, what the actual fuck, bro? This is your job, dude.
No, you just vote down party lines because you don't want to piss off Daddy Trump. Because if you piss off Daddy Trump, he's going to go on Truth Social and post a mean tweet about you or a mean truth about you. And people are going to be mad. But which is true. You'll get death threats from these psychopaths that are on Truth Social.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, that's the thing, though. All of this shit from the lowly fucking, inbred conservatard all the way up to the, Republican politician, they're just going with the flow. They're literally no better than like the fucking guards at Auschwitz at this point. Like I was just doing my job. Just doing my job,
Yep.
Just going with it.
Yep. Next, they are gutting the FEHB with vouchers, which is Federal Employees Health Benefits. They're going to replace it with a volatile voucher system, which would increase cost for workers, undermine the quality of care, and lead to higher premiums, deductibles, and copays. Because these insurance companies, like, United Health, who had a recent accident last year, or was it this year, with their CEO?
Last year. Yeah, very sad accident.
Yeah. And, they were making payments to these politicians. They're going to be getting money out of this. So, yeah, of course they want that.
Yep. Just another example of why we need to take fucking corporations out of our politics like the cancer that they are.
Yep. And then they're going to put lawful fees on justice and unions, imposing a $350 fee on federal employees to file an appeals with the Merit Systems Protection Board, and charging unions for official time, despite it being legally mandated. Yep.
That's going to cause fucking chaos in the court system if this goes through.
Yep. We just have to hope that, Senate doesn't approve it. But if people are talking big, but people talked big leading up to the House as well. There were more than just the one or two that voted against it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are talking big in Senate about it. And I feel like it's going to be the same thing. They're all going to end up bowing down and just going with it.
God, dude. Well, yeah, of course they are. Because honestly, I think a lot of the people around, like a lot of the people in our government in general, no matter what side of the aisle they sit on or what they do exactly, representatives, politicians, shit like that, they're scared at this point. They're scared of Trump. They're scared of his inner circle. They're scared of his froth mouth fan base. They're scared, and that's going to prevent us from doing anything.
Let's talk about a senator that I'm pretty sure is going to just approve it hands down and like worship the idea of the bill. This guy, Democratic Senator John Fetterman, is going to 100% back this bill. I don't care what he's saying. He is going to fully back it.
You know what I love about this guy?
Nothing?
There's a lot. Well, nothing. Yeah, no, but it's the stuff about him that I not him. Fuck him. But it's the stuff around him that I love. One, I loved how they treated like the Democrats and liberals talked about him like he was the next coming of Christ, and that was hilarious to me because fucking from the get go, I was like, nope, not gonna happen. But two, I love that the only reason he's more conservative now is because he has brain damage.
Yeah.
Which the implications of that are fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, because when he was what was it? Lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania. Yep. He was very left.
Yeah. Well, and then he talked a big game, but
yeah.
I doubt he
and then he had then he had the stroke. I believe it was a stroke, right?
Yeah, I think it was a stroke. Yeah.
Yeah. Then after that, he just seemed to be pro-Trump everything.
Yep. He got Dane Bramage and he turned right.
Yep. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I think there's grounds to have him like fucking straight up removed from office for that. Because like he is clearly he's demonstrated enough. Dude, I heard down the grapevine from different mag alerts from different people news-wise that
100%.
Even his own staff and his wife are like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing with everything he says, like on Twitter and the internet in general, every, decision he makes politically and everything? People around him straight up don't agree with him at this point. And it's like, why do we keep him? He's clearly like, he's spoiled goods at this point. He's bad. Like he has turned, This is not the guy we voted in. So why the fuck is he still around?
Yep. I mean, we could say that about a lot of politicians, though.
Well, yeah. Yeah. But he's the one that's like the most drastic example of it.
Yeah. Well, it's about that's the biggest in this, that has the most people pissed off. So, I think it starts up here. Yeah, it would increase the federal deficit by $2.3 trillion over 10 years, triggering automatic cuts to Medicare, which is wonderful. And this is after, he promised not to touch Medicare. He said that constantly during the campaign. Like, he's not going to touch it. It's going to be okay. And also, it's going to slash... Oh, shoot. Hold on. Can you read this?
Yeah. So it's gonna fucking cut Medicare, and then the bill would increase resources for the top 10% of Americans.
Yes, it is.
You're not muted. You're not muted.
Sorry about that.
There we go. So technical difficulties. So the CBO also found that the bill would increase resources for the top 10% of Americans and lower incomes for the bottom 10%, which that's always fucking great. That's always going to be fun. We definitely need less money, but would slash nearly $1 trillion from Medicaid and the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, formerly known as food stamps. So if you have food stamps, if you use food stamps or are on them, that's get fucked over too. And I'm pretty sure I heard that this is going to cause the closure of a shitload of hospitals, particularly in rural areas. I hate that word, rural areas, like areas that just like non-metropolitan places are going to have hospitals just shut down. Allegedly, that's something that I personally heard, but I haven't confirmed that because I'm too off to look into this shit at the moment. It's just bad all over. Yeah, this is fucking terrible. Absolutely. Oh, he's back.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry about that. It was GameStop. My switch to pre-order.
That's okay.
Important business. I had to take care of it.
Yeah, we just got to the Medicaid part. Which you hear that hospitals are going to shut down too? Is that?
Yeah. I've been hearing that too.
Rural. So, do we have like proof of that? How do we know this? Because that's
not
big thing.
Yet. We at least the hospitals I go to are super large networks. I think like in this general area, the one we might see fall down is Lancaster General Hospital, but they've been struggling with money as it is. They've been having a lot of issues.
they've been having
I don't
issues,
think
yeah.
the one I'm near, I highly doubt WellSpan is going to. It's become one of the biggest behemoths in the medical network.
They're fine.
And then, there's Penn State Medical there. Yeah, Pennsylvania. I'm just giving that away. And then St. Joseph's.
And also, Kyle Kalinske talked about this, I think, which I still listen to him despite the fact that he's gone off the fucking rails with a lot of shit. He's still right about a lot of other shit, but he mentioned that, and I never knew this, that I guess Reagan, I think it was, put in some act that made it so if you go to an emergency room, you have to be treated. I forget the name of it, but even if you don't have insurance, you've got to be treated. So that's why a bunch of people, usually poorer people who are less well off, wind up going to emergency rooms. Like if you have a cold or if anything happens, and they stack up the emergency room, which I'm not blaming them, but that's why it happens. So this may affect that too, not only or mainly because if these hospitals are closing, if they're closing down, where the fuck are these people going to go? They're just not going to get treatment.
Also, a quick visit to the hospital for to the emergency room for an issue. Insurance touched a little bit of it. They touched $518, but the actual emergency room visit itself, like that was just the doctor charge.
Yeah.
The hospital itself, it was $2,124.10.
Jesus Christ. Well, and that's a whole. So Sir Felix and I both worked in the medical insurance industry for a while. You worked in there longer than I did. But we both saw enough. I built plans and he did mainly billing, like the billing side of things. So, and we both did calls and stuff too. And it was for fixed indemnity, limited medical benefit plans. So plans that you get on your own without company shit. So
they covered that shit.
Yeah, they covered fuck all. But so you work for a company, but the plans I was building were for jobs, because they did deal with that too, and they dealt with like car insurance and shit. But outside of that, we saw a lot of the medical billing industry, and without a shadow of a doubt, no one knows what the fuck they're doing behind the scenes. No one. Literally no one. Because how many times did we talk to doctors or hear about people talking to doctors and getting into arguments or talking about what's covered and what's not, and then all that other shit. But they'll also there's CPT codes that they use for everything that they do in a doctor's office. And let's say you get given a box of tissues in the doctor's office. The CPT code for that it's whatever the fuck, but they'll basically mark it because it's a quote CPT code. It could be something more official. So they'll wind up making it like, oh, you got that box of tissues? Well, that's $300 because it was an inconvenience for us. And they'll charge you for every little fucking thing you do at the doctor's office. So don't get anything you don't need, first of all, but also we need to unfuck that system.
Yeah, like insurance plans like those specifically. The thing that made me the most like heartbroken during that was I talked to a person who was like, yeah, I just found out I have cancer. Can you tell me what my policy covers? And I had to sit there and tell this dude, it covers 12 visits for $100 each visit.
Yep. Which is nothing. Nothing.
Yeah. So he has to get his chemo, which is stupid expensive, and it's only going to cover $100 of it. Plus he's paying like $100 something plus for this policy. And that was sad. I had another one where the little girl was injured and all this stuff. And the mom was calling me, and I had to basically, like, I did what I wasn't supposed to. I told her, you need to contact someone better and get better coverage. You need to do that now.
Yep. Oh, dude, the people we talked to, like, you would hear everything. And the only people we would ever talk to were the ones that didn't have enough money for a good plan, weren't working at a job that offered them insurance. And usually, if we were talking to them, they probably had a fuckload of medical issues that they needed help with. And were conned into getting a plan that offers fuck all and jack shit for maximum price by these fucking sales reps who are the scum of the fucking earth, dude. Yep. And we had to deal with the back end of that. And that was, oh God, that's only going to get worse. that shit is only going to get fucking worse, except these people aren't going to have anybody to call to talk to about that shit.
Yep. Yeah, all these Medicaid and Medicare people, they are fucked. They want to make them pay the same amount that we do with private insurance or company insurance, whatever you want to call it, which we pay 250% more than them. And that's why Medicaid is able to cover this. Plus, slashing nearly $1,000 from it, or sorry, $1 trillion from it. That means they're going to hit that max cap sooner, and more people are being denied. Just being straight, given the finger, told to F off, and go die.
Yep.
And we had that one, I don't know if you talked about this while I was walked away. There was that one senator or governor, whatever she is. She came out and was like, well, we're all going to die someday.
I did not hear that nor talk about that. What the fuck?
All right, let me get this pulled up. But first,
you gotta pull that shit.
While I pull that up, this is a sad story.
Holy shit.
Oh, you can't see it. It didn't pop up. Let me try that again. There.
King of the Hill voice actor Jonathan Joss killed in San Antonio shooting.
Yeah, John Redcorn.
Oh shit.
That's sad.
Was he the target, or was it crossfire? Or?
It was crossfire, it looks like. Him and his neighbor were both hit, but he died.
God damn, dude. That sucks.
Oh, here she is. Okay. Republican senator criticized and mocked for apology, saying we're all going to die in response to the Medicaid cuts. Wow. That was at a town hall. At a town hall. She just told her constituents, like, sucks to suck.
Well, what can I get away with saying? Nope, I'm not. I can't. There's no way I could say that. Yeah. I'm just gonna. Nope. You're right. We are all gonna die someday.
And then Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, his whole thing was like, these cuts to Medicaid are gonna make young men stronger.
How?
No clue. Like, his response to it made zero sense.
Yeah, it's gonna make them stronger by. Oh, what does he believe that like, okay, so if you are exposed to a lot of germs and shit, yeah, you're gonna wind up gaining, better immunity to some shit. Your immune system is gonna be better and everything. That's why when you're a kid, you should go out and play in the dirt, and you should do all that shit. That's good. But there's some people like that guy, I assume, who wind up they know about this, but they think it applies to like everything. Like, oh, if you get COVID, the forbidden Wuhan flu, then you wind up, you're better off for it afterwards. You have a better immune system afterwards, which like your immune system gets it doesn't even work with COVID because every strain is basically fucking different. But it doesn't make you stronger. It doesn't help you. It's not good.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, these are the dumbs that we're dealing with. I should have saved that post when I saw it the other day. That was mind-blowing.
That's fucking wild. Yeah, that's like a let them eat cake or whatever the fuck. Like that's her moment.
Yep.
Yeah, well, some of us are going to die sooner than others, so that's how I'll say it.
She filmed her apology in a graveyard?
Are you fucking serious, dude?
What?
Are you fucking serious?
Rather than clarify or apologize, Ernst channeled Trump-era defiance in her response on Saturday with an Instagram video that appeared to be filmed in a graveyard.
Holy fucking Christ, dude. We're in a new age of absurdity. That's wild. From a fucking graveyard, too.
Yep.
Well,
let's talk about the last thing that this is going to screw up. Where'd it go? Oh, yeah, SNAP. They're cutting SNAP benefits. Food stamps.
Oh, yeah, we mentioned that.
Yeah, the poor don't need food.
No.
we're pro-life, but you kids that don't have wealthy families, go die.
The rest of the world has basically claimed food as a right. Okay. Yep. Like, it is your right to eat. It's your right to have water. It's your right to have shelter. Like, it's a human right. We haven't figured that out yet, though.
Yeah. Not at all. Yeah. 7.6 million Americans would be uninsured by 2034 because of these cuts.
Yeah, fuck them. They don't need it. They don't need it.
Yeah, but at least those wealthy 10%, they're going to see a nice increase.
Money! You know, Red Dead 2, when you go and collect money from that, what is he, like some Eastern European guy or whatever, he's like, I want the money! That's our politicians at this point. Fuck the people. Give me the money. Fuck you. Go die.
I'm trying to see if they mentioned how it affects our. It's 5.4 million people losing their most or all of their SNAP benefits. It doesn't say it in here where us, since we're not wealthy, our taxes are going up. I think it's 12%. I could be wrong. It could be somewhere between 12 and 18%. It's something like that. It has a 1 at the beginning and a number behind it.
12%? That's what?
Yeah. Let's see. Trump. Oh, see if I can find it. Okay. Yeah.
Fucking 12% increase, dude?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yo, okay, so this is...
And file a joint lease. This is what you're going to be coming in as. So, yeah.
There's a good, poignant statement there. Not sure what it's going to take to wake people up. It's insane. From the ever-present and wise Carlitos. Yes. I think outside of the whole saying of, like, you know, you go, 3 days or 3 meals or whatever, and you get a revolution. Outside of that shit, which is coming, that's definitely coming. I think this kind of stuff is what's going to hit people most and what's going to make them start to realize how hard they're getting fucked and maybe do something about it when their paychecks are significantly lower than what they are used to, when medical shit becomes totally unaffordable for them. We're already at a point where last I heard, which was years ago, we were at like 60-something% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Now we're probably all the way up to like 75, maybe even fucking 80%, maybe even more of Americans who live paycheck to paycheck. Oh yeah, Pinky, if they're starving. Yeah, if they're starving, you'll get change. That's basically what it'll take. And yeah, with their money. I mean, like, I think in the next couple of probably years, let's be a little more realistic. I want to say months or weeks, but in the next couple of years, more and more people are going to start waking up to their situation. And more people are going to start asking to do something about it. And once enough people are at that point and ready to do something about it, we can band together and actually fucking do it. But until then, you know, we have to bide our time.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Oh, man, the guy taking over Doge. This douchebag.
Who? What about him?
He's worse than Musk in every way. Oh, it's not showing again? God damn it.
No.
There we go. Russell Vought. Or Vout, however you say it. Extreme piece of shit. He pops up every once in a while, especially when it's to, like, blow Trump and slurp out the diaper. Yeah.
Gotta slurp that diaper.
Complete trash.
Well, so what makes him bad? Like, what has he done?
Well, he's very big on. I mean, he's worse than Musk at telling lies. That's for one thing. He's like right here, the Medicaid claims are outrageous lies, denying pure fact that's written out. Extreme sycophant. I mean, honestly, yeah, self-described Christian nationalist. He's the founder of the Center for Renewing America, an organization that is opposed to critical race theory.
Dude, none of these fuckers can even tell you what critical race theory is. Fucking dumb shit.
And advocates for the idea of American as a nation under God. He also played a significant role in Project 2025.
Big surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's just another one like Stephen Miller, which I'm pretty sure him and Miller are good buddies.
They're all good buddies, dude.
Yep.
They're all good fucking buddies. They all fuck each other behind the scenes. They all do blow off each other's dicks. They're all fucking gay piece of shit in the closet, asshole, Nazi fucking scum. And yeah, we're fucked until people start realizing. He wrote Project 2025, says Al Munson. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So is he part of the Heritage Foundation or whatever? Or if you said that, I'm sorry. Or did he just write it for him? He probably just wrote it for him.
Yeah, probably just one of the authors of it.
Okay.
Like main authors.
It's kind of like what
he popped up in all those videos that were going around where the Heritage Foundation was trying to make it sound like Project 2025 is a great thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, and Musk is still going to be involved in Doge. I forget who said it. Something came out like he says he's stepping down, but he still has the position.
Trump also confirmed that in his moronic ramblings, because they need his tech people
money. They also
because they're using a spin-off of Grok or whatever his AI thing for Twitter is called.
Yeah.
And that's just more stupidity.
And they need that fucking money. That's what else.
Using a broken AI to try to make things better by making things worse.
AI is going to shake this whole shit up. But they need big balls.
Yeah. Yeah, it's highly upsetting reading about these idiots.
Oh, it denies climate change too. Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Well, this is Heritage Foundation.
Oh.
Yeah. They deny everything.
Well, yeah. Because God didn't do it.
Yep.
Did God done do climate? God didn't tell us anything about climate change in the Bible. Got to read the book.
Yep. They also opposed how Ukraine was invaded by Russia, and it's all their fault. So why should we help out Ukraine?
Well, I mean, that's kind of a horseshoe thing. Like we shouldn't be fighting Russia for the Ukrainians, but it's our fault for the most part.
Yeah.
Russia is still fucked up, and it is Putin's fault that they invaded. But
no, that's Trump. It's Ukraine's
fault. You could
go
all the way back to even pre-NATO and trace a line from that. We can go pre-World War I. Like it's everybody's fault.
Yeah, which there was a funny article that came out. Ukraine did some drone strikes on a Russian airbase, and the whole thing was like that they didn't tell the U.S. ahead of time, and people were upset about that. It's like, well, that's why their drone strike worked, because if they told Trump about it first, it would have been countered instantly.
Well, see, it's all part of the game. Like, they tell us about a drone strike. We tell Russia. Russia gets anybody who they don't want to die away from the drone strike. Ukraine does the drone strike, and then they get to pat themselves on the back saying, oh, we attacked Russia. Russia says, oh, no, we had an attack, and we have to do something about it, even though nothing actually did anything. Like, they didn't kill anyone important. They didn't take out anything important. And everybody gets to keep playing their game on all sides. So that's why they're freaking out about it, because they didn't play the game this time.
Yeah. Yeah, they destroyed a bunch of warplanes.
Oh, nice. Which I wonder, because I have not kept up with the war in Ukraine in like a year. I wonder if Russia has actually started using their air force now in Ukraine, because they were kind of holding back for a while.
Yeah, well, didn't they start off with a bunch of bombing? Yeah, actually, watched all those videos.
Oh yeah, no, they started off with like a huge sweeping, like big strike, okay, with lots of helicopters and shit. But they since then haven't really been using their air force. It's mostly just missiles and drones and shit. Because if Russia went full bore with their air force, they could just basically fucking level Ukraine if they wanted to. But that's not their goal ultimately, so that might be why.
Yeah. Yeah, over 40 bombers.
Nice.
But then, of course, Russian propaganda said, no, there's only a couple. It's just a handful.
Yeah, it was 2 bombers. That's all.
Yeah. Yep.
What is this? Bloggers compared it to Pearl Harbor. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
No, bro.
Yep.
Bleat! No, it's not fucking Pearl Harbor. Oh, yeah, even Zelensky knows we're basically Russia now. Yeah. No. So we're all...
Well, he never said thank you, and he wasn't wearing a suit. Got to focus on that.
Yeah, the dude who's his country's at war, and he's been, wearing shit that, like, goes with war. No, but we're all in the same boat. We're all on the same team. So, like, Putin is up there with Trump and Xi and fucking all the people in Europe, like all the presidents, whatever the hell, whoever the fuck in Europe. All of these countries are working together. They really are. And it's a big game. It's all the big game, because you could start these wars, you could start these proxy conflicts, you could wind up, fucking around here, fucking around there, and you get closer to your ultimate goal, which was, it seems to be economic domination, effectively. It's a cabal. It's a cabal of people that run the planet.
Yeah. Yep.
And Peter Thiel is one of them, and not enough people are fucking talking about him.
Yeah, his name comes up, and it's like a day later, it's removed from everything.
Yep. Dude, he's the king of America. Did you hear about his database?
Which one?
He wants to make a database of like all
just all Americans. Yeah.
With all
people are coming out and saying, like, all you people who are like super Second Amendment and like, wanting to defend your guns, when are you going to react to this? This is worse. This is worse than taking your guns. Oh, they have everything on you.
It's terrible, dude. Yeah, Palantir. Which fuck that, because the name is cool. It's a Lord of the Rings reference, but yeah, he wants to create a database with everything on everybody in the United States, so they could basically fuck you over if they want to.
Yep. But
like Kyle Kalinske said, actually, like fucking because I watched a bit of him before getting on just to freshen up on some shit. If bank account numbers and shit too, they want everything. But if Obama or Biden, proposed something like this, the right would be losing its fucking mind over it, dude.
Yeah.
But you don't even hear a peep. You don't hear anything about it.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead and talk. I gotta do something really quick if I can figure out how to do it.
Shit. I'm muted because I'm in between ramblings. I'm having some chicken, actually, and I hate when people are like on the phone. So,
well, just turn your camera. We can have some mukbang.
Yeah, no, my camera's in a box somewhere.
Yeah. I was playing this phone game, and it has ads and all this stuff. And one of them is like this dude. It's playing some like casino type game while doing a mukbang in his car.
Oh,
eating some chicken wings. Yeah, I was like, this is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life.
No, I don't have tits big enough to do mukbangs and make a career out of it. But so Carlitos, you said that nobody has made the connection to Lord of the Rings with the Palantir. And yes, I am a nerd. I'm a huge fucking nerd. We all are. Let's see. No one made that connection about Lord of the Rings. Because Sir Felix, do you know what the Palantir is in Lord of the Rings?
I've heard it, but I can't think of what it is. I mean, I've only read the books twice.
There's a couple Palantirs that exist on the planet. And fucking, we're going into nerd shit here. A couple Palantirs exist on the planet in Middle Earth. They're these little orbs. They kind of look like marbles in the movies, but really big. And it's basically a way to communicate with people across the planet.
Yeah. It's what what's his face uses.
Pippin.
He has there.
And Sauron.
His name. Yeah, there we go.
Sauron. Yeah, he has a Palantir to talk to. Saruman has a Palantir to talk to Sauron. So it's like an all-seeing kind of system. You could see anything. You could go anywhere with it, but it's all through this orb. So that's probably the name. That's where they got the name of this thing from. Which it's disgusting that they use Lord of the Rings for this.
Yep. Gotta love them.
Yeah, fuck them. They take everything good.
Yeah, it's the same thing we've talked about with like on the other channel with Star Trek. They take all the wrong messages from Star Trek.
Yep.
It's just there's no comprehension that what they're doing is what those evil people are doing. But nope.
Dude, they don't get anything about Star Trek.
Yeah.
You fascist using Lord of the Rings words. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, say what you want about Tolkien. He was a piece of shit. But I don't think he was a fascist considering he fought them, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, it's fucked up. But yeah, that's where Palantir comes from, if you didn't know. The more you know.
Yep. All right. Let's talk about our other topic. So, what is your idea of an ideal government? Let's just pick out one random thing that would lead to your more ideal government. One thing that can happen with said government, besides wipe out both Republicans and Democrats and start completely over, because that's a given. That is an absolute given.
So we're gonna just consider that we've already done that in this process.
Yeah, we're gonna say, let's just, for example, I'm not saying this is a thing that's happening or that we're plotting. Make that clear. But let's say for some reason there was like a revolutionary war and we have to have a new head.
Yeah,
and a new government set up. So we're starting from scratch.
Number one, direct democracy. Number one, no electoral college. No money in politics, no fucking stupid, no gerrymandering, any of that shit. Direct democracy would be the foundation of this government for me.
100%. You have to. People have to have their say. Like the gerrymandering is complete bullshit, but the electoral college is like the worst thing ever. It is pointless. It takes away your say. Your say doesn't matter. Like Farron Cousins, he lives in Florida. His vote doesn't mean anything. And that's bullshit. We should all have our voice heard. No matter how wrong it is. I mean, even the maggots, they should have their voice heard. Like, true. As long as they're not saying something completely moronic like they tend to, like Trump.
Oh, Panky is leaving us. Have fun, Panky.
Oh, see ya.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yep. But yeah, and it's absolutely 100% needed. We also need, besides like you said, money as well. Money needs to be taken out. There can be no company money, no corporate money going into anything. Billionaires should not be putting in all their money. I would like to see it where we basically, I mean, we'd have to have a lot of things happen to get there. Let's just say with some other things that we're probably going to talk about later, we actually had almost a money pool, a designated like allotment of money that they get. That's what they get a campaign on. We're going to make it to where they can actually just campaign normally instead of having to like pay $10 billion every town they go to. Look at Trump and the amount of debt that he's put these towns in. He owes all these cities tons of money and is paying none of them.
Yep. Well, have it be tax money. It's tax dollars that fund presidential campaigns.
Yeah, that tax money, that's what I was saying. We'll come into that later. Like how we're going to get all that extra tax money and stuff. But yeah, they'll have a allotted amount of tax money that's for their campaigning. That'll help pay off these officers that need to be done. Maybe pay a little bit of the rent for whatever place they're going to. But they have that money there where they can campaign and people can go. It would work. Like back in the day when they would just roll around in their wagons that they set up and just talk to people.
Well, yeah, campaigning back in the day was going to factories and promising them to give them more money. That was campaigning. That was campaigning back in the day, far enough.
Yep. Yeah, as I was watching the show, it's side topic. I was watching that show Warrior the other weekend, which everybody should check out. I'm going to talk about that later on a different channel. But they have people campaigning, and that's literally what they're doing. They just pull up outside of the factory somewhere. They have their wagons set up, and they're just standing there and drawing people's attention and talking about what they're going to do for them, given this politician was saying some very racist things. But that's the format we need, minus the racism. Just talk to the people.
Well, look at Roosevelt. Say what you want about Roosevelt, dude. He was a man of the people with that shit. Like, he would promise shit to the working people and wound up delivering a lot of that shit to the working people, but also creating government institutions that we still have to this day until Trump dismantles them. But like he that's what he would do. Go factory to factory, place to place, promising the people what you're going to give them. And then if you don't follow through on that shit, like there's a real risk of being just taken out. Like if you don't actually promise or follow through on the things that you promise, the people will probably come after you. And that's where it's not a great system, but it worked a little bit better.
Yep, absolutely. Put that in chat if it lets me. But yeah, let's talk about the money part, how we're going to get places with funding. How do I want to say this? Basically, we need to properly tax people and companies, especially companies.
Yep.
Because when they get to go through, and like I think it's Netflix who's done it quite a few years in a row, where they have $0 in taxes having to be paid.
Oh, most of them do now. You make your
business. You have HBO, Warner Brothers, whatever you want to call it, how they cancel a bunch of movies, and it's like, oh, that's just going to be a tax write-off.
Yep.
Like, no, fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
Let's look at this in an interesting way. The Republicans and conservatives always talk about the 40s and 50s, about how great they were. Okay, outside of that whole, World War II thing, how great these times were. Well, yeah. So, like, everything was great back then, unless you weren't white, because then it was god awful. But, or a man. But everything was quote unquote great back then. But they had hard wealth caps. So anything that you made over X amount of money would wind up all 100% past X amount going to the government, all of it.
Yeah.
And what did the government do with that?
$200,000.
Yep. Which you could adjust that for inflation, make it a couple.
Yeah, it's equivalent to $2 million today.
Yeah, there you go. A couple, let's say $5 million. Anything after $5 million goes right to the government. And then what was the government doing with that at the time? Rebuilding. It's like military and increasing its military, which is unavoidable, but they were putting a lot into it. But they were also doing infrastructure. They were doing production. They were creating factories. They were building roads. They were giving people fuckloads of jobs. And those jobs paid pretty damn well because the government was injecting money into that shit to help it flourish at the time. So everybody had money. And what does an economy need? Money spending. You need to spend money in order for an economy to work. So the more money you have, the more money you'll spend. And it literally works for everybody. Doing this helps fucking everybody.
Yep. Wealth caps are absolutely needed. I would go a step further, and because all these douchebag billionaires are going to try to be like, well, I'm just going to open an offshore account where you can't tax me. That's fucking treason. Eat a dick. Yeah. That's fucking treason.
Cancel that shit. Shut that shit the fuck down.
Yeah, companies and stuff like that trying to pay off politicians, that's fucking treason. Like, go to hell.
You know what? Speaking of money, here's a crazy fucking idea. Since we're in the age of AI, we could do this now. Have a market analyst AI, right? that winds up looking at the cost of all goods that are used to produce things within the United States. And it keeps track of this entire market. And what it does is it creates a live cap that anybody who sets prices on anything, whether it be a store, a CEO, whatever the fuck, anybody who sets prices on any item that they're going to sell has to check in with this app that tells you what the current potential cap is on the price of that item, effectively using AI to limit the max amount you could charge for anything that you're selling so you avoid greedflation. So a pen can't be more than $4, for instance. It can't be, unless you consider it will have categories like a specialty pen, like it's handmade wood, you know what I mean? Some shit like that. It's some crazy fucking shit pen. Then you have another cap for that specific pen, but there are stringent standards on how you could classify these things that are also enforced. A lot of people will say this is government overreach, but they're overreaching corporations, not you and I. Are you a corporation?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not a fucking corporation, so
my name is Subway.
Care? Whoa, now, whoa!
I didn't say my name's Jared. I said Subway.
Yeah, but why the fuck would the average person care? This helps you so you're not overpaying for any stupid shit, because greedflation is the biggest fucking problem that we have in terms of prices on shit. I don't give a fuck what anyone, like, it's statistic. You look at the facts, fucking the cost of stuff to cost of goods, or sorry, cost of materials to build goods is not high enough to warrant the prices on the shit that we're fucking paying at this point.
Yep.
It's just not.
Yep. And now, see, you were a little more lenient with your wealth cap. You said increase it more than 2 million. I think 2 million is fair. Absolutely fair for a family, because the more we could take in, we can turn that around and turn it into a UBI. And if we do things right, like it'd have to start off slow, given I'm not just going to say like overnight, boom, full UBI. That's going to be disastrous.
Yeah.
But you slowly build it up. Where, yes, we are still working normal jobs, but say you make $15 an hour right now.
Yeah.
The company is also going to have their wealth cap, because they're not getting out of this fucking free.
Yep.
But instead of paying you 15, they're paying you like 10. And then your UBI is 10. You're still making $5 more an hour.
Yeah, I mean,
and start it slowly like that and increase it and keep the flow going. People are still going to work because people like to do things. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people who just want to sit around and fuck off, but that's not a majority of people. People also like to create. If we have a UBI, people will create more. They'll try to do more.
Yep. Well, I say for a UBI, because we could afford this shit now. We'll definitely be able to afford this shit if we do the wealth caps on fucking anyone who's rich. For a UBI, make it 20. Make it a livable, make it a actually comfortably livable amount for a UBI that you get. So basically, like, let's say the comfortable minimum wage should be like $25-30 an hour. So everybody gets $25-30 an hour for UBI. Everybody. We could afford that now. We'd be able to afford that then. And then anybody who doesn't want to work and just live off of this UBI, that's okay. Let them. No repercussions, no decreased amount. Nothing. There's no paperwork you have to fill out if you want to get on it. You're born with it. You get it from the moment you come out of the fucking womb. That's your income. And for kids, we'll have a bank account until they're like, let's say 16 years old, that nobody could access the bank account that their UBI is going into until they're 16, and then they could access it. They or their parents can access it. That way, when they're 16, they got fucking fuckloads of money saved up.
Yeah.
By the time they're 16, you want to go to college, make that free because the government can pay for college.
So I was going to say next, free college, because people need that. Free education, people will fucking go. There's people who literally don't go to college because it's going to put you in debt. Yeah. Debt that you can't 100% guarantee that you're going to get out of.
Yep. Oh yeah, and Sparrow, Medicare, free Medicare too.
Medicare for all.
With a not even survivable, with a comfortably living UBI, you wouldn't even have to provide free housing. People would just be able to get houses. So we could avoid the free housing shit. Like you still have to pay for a house, but it's almost guaranteed because of the money that you're getting.
Yep. No hoarding houses.
Yep.
No having I bought 20 properties. Now I'm going to rent all these out. No, eat a dick.
No fucking landlords.
You don't need a vacation house either. you don't.
Well, here, in order to have vacation stuff, why don't and I don't know if the government will regulate this, but somebody could create a company where you have basically like luxury retreats, we'll call them, where they're not quite houses, but they're bigger than hotels, and they wind up being places. Well, timeshares are a fucking scam, but it's like a place you could pay X amount of money. That's not. It also has the cap because you can only charge a certain amount based off of what you're providing. But you charge X amount of money for someone to go live there for a week at a beach or whatever the fuck. That's totally viable. Government doesn't even have to regulate that. You could just do a program to help promote someone creating a company that does that. You don't totally free healthcare. 100% free healthcare. Nobody pays a fucking dime. And this is all accounting for, like, we would still pay taxes. Your UBI wouldn't be taxed, but your supplementary income would be taxed.
Yep.
And like the supplementary income tax that you would have as a general worker would be fucking minuscule, because the people who are paying the majority of the taxes are the people who are multimillionaires. They're the ones footing the bill.
Yep.
God. Oh yeah, Carlito says that where was that? One, to ban all commercial advertising. Fuck yes, 100%. 100% ban that shit. No more fucking commercials. We should just have like entertainment and education based media, period.
Especially drug commercials.
Oh God, yeah. Well, with the free healthcare system, doctors wouldn't be incentivized to push pills on people by getting a kickback anymore. That shit fucking ends in this idea of government. That shit, because that kills people, dude.
Yeah, if you listen to what they say, like the whole first half of the commercial sounds fantastic. You're going to get rid of your constant migraines. But then they quickly spout out like 1,000 ways you're going to die from this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's bad.
Or you're just going to be in your bathroom for the rest of your life shitting your brains out because it's going to make you just constantly crap yourself.
Yeah. Well, and the worst part of it, though, is look at the opiate epidemic. Like, these people got hopelessly fucking addicted to pills that were killing them. And in some cases, killed them outright because of overdoses and shit, or because they mixed it with something else. It was an epidemic of opiate addiction, because doctors were incentivized monetarily to fucking murder people with drugs. That's literally how it played out. What is this? Al Munson says you don't even have to tax anyone under $200K a year.
Yeah.
If you tax a bill. Yeah. Well, that's like, if there even is a tax on the common worker, we probably don't even need one because of the wealth cap tax.
Yeah, 0.3%. 0.003%. You can give it 50 cents. There we go. Well, you can't do pennies because those are going away.
Oh, yeah. So dimes.
Nickels.
Nickels, yeah. Yeah, sales tax only. Yeah, I'm good with sales tax.
Yep.
And then here's the one I was going to say about Carlitos. It's very based and optimistic, but it's hard to share that view. And I get that. This shit that we're talking about will never fucking happen. No, we're just gonna get this is fantasy land.
Yeah, I mean, you would basically have to have that premise of a revolution happened and we are instating a new government.
Yeah, and nothing short of a revolution would have to precede this effectively, and it would basically take so long to set up that we would be in our 80s if we lived that long by the time we finally see it come to fruition. Like, this would be a generational shift that we would have to do.
Yeah, I had a full conversation about this with someone on TikTok on a video, because I did talk about I touched on what a better government would be. Yeah, and they were like, or no, it started off with me saying, like, these people who are openly going out there and saying, like, end Trump.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't do that. I understand you're mad, like, absolutely understand it, but don't come out and say that. I mean, we do need a better government. Yes. But it's not just going to be like, hey, I'm angry, so I'm going to sit on top of the roof and shoot at him while he's at a campaign rally. That's not the way to really do it. It would, yeah, people would cheer. I'm not going to say I would cry.
No, fuck no.
I would be like, that sucked to see a sitting president have that happen to them, but I'm not going to cry. I'm going to be like, oh, well, I mean,
you get what you pay for.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but we talked about that before. Like, so what if Trump gets taken out? That changes nothing.
Yeah, you have to have the full revolution. Don't just go out there and try to take out the one person. You have to burn it all to the ground. Like, what are you guys going to do? Just come in and put a Democrat back in office who's going to do nothing for you? They're going to give you like some crumbs, which is what they've done for years. Give you crumbs.
Dude, instead of targeting individuals or even targeting the group, the goal of the goal of the leftist at this point in the United States anyway should be to target the system. That's what we need to be focusing on, because the system is what's fucking us every day. It's the people who are tools of that system that you're getting your anger out at. And I understand that, because there's plenty to be fucking pissed at them about. But it is the system that needs to be dismantled.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, some cities that are doing a UBI of sorts. I know there's some in California that were working on it. I don't know if they ever got through with it, because I stopped following the stories. But yeah, there's more that need to absolutely do that. They need to put a UBI out there. We need to make it just a federal thing, though. Like, just the whole nation needs to have this. It would help out everybody, especially since, like, how we talked about these Medicare and Medicaid and SNAP cuts. That's directly affecting Trump's areas, like his voters. That's screwing them over as hard as possible. They're being fisted the most.
Well, yeah.
And we should be able to save them as well. Even though they're dumb, they vote for the wrong things. They vote in their worst interest. We should help them. Help everyone. Get everyone out of this shit show.
You know what another thing is that I just thought of too, that I would love to see? Because America almost got it right. We almost got it right. In the early 1900s, there was a bill that was proposed, and it died basically before it got anywhere. But to basically make it so if the United States is going to go to war, the entirety of the population has to vote on it in a direct democratic vote. And anyone who, if the majority of people vote to go to war, everyone who voted to go to war must join the military. They must join the military. Mandatory service. Anyone who voted against it is free, out. You don't have to join. But ultimately, the whole point of it was, if you want to start a war, you've got to be willing to join it yourself. And I guarantee you that we would never have another war again. Ever.
Yep.
Well, outside of defensive wars, because most people are going to say yes to that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's not many who would have thought after 9/11 they wouldn't have.
Yeah, no, I mean, the military, it was bad after 9/11.
Yeah, and let's talk about 9/11 again, because I've talked about this before. Where I lived in California at the time, there were a bunch of racist douchebags that came up driving past my neighbors who were Middle Eastern and would say the most vulgar things to their, like, she was 7 or 9 years old. She was young. She was under 10. Their daughter, who was playing out in the front yard.
Yeah.
I caught them one time because I happened to be out there skating. I had my skateboard, and they were pulled up, and they started yelling stuff and throwing like water bottles and stuff. And that's when I walked up to them with my skateboard and I started telling them off. And that was the end of that. They did not show up again, because it's like, I look like you and I'm not on your side. You're a piece of shit. You are a scumbag. Yep. And those people who were doing that, they would not fight.
Of course not.
100%. They would be hiding behind their couch like, no, I don't want this war. I don't want it.
Most of them won't fucking fight. All these people who talk big, like, I don't want a fucking war. I don't want a war, dude. You'll never see me say that I want, like, if it's avoidable, I'm never going to ask for fucking conflict, because, like, I've seen enough shit, dude. I've seen shit. Okay. Like, war is not fucking pretty. People dying is not fucking pretty. Also, Carlitos, that bill was proposed sometime around World War I believe. It might have been a little bit before or a little bit after World War I. So like 1914 to 1918, if I remember right. But yeah, no, just nobody should want a war. And most of these people who talk about it talk like they want it, but they wouldn't do fuck all if it actually kicked off. They won't.
Yep.
But that's another thing. End identity politics. There must be a government enforcement to squash any semblance of identity politics, period.
Yep. Absolutely. It needs to go. Vote blue no matter who. It's just as bad as voting red. It's no different.
Yep. Because let's say AOC wins an election. What the fuck is she actually going to be able to do?
Besides just being the hottest president we've had, nothing. Oh, yeah, and that's not saying much. I mean, Trump is a contender, but you know.
Now, I don't know, man. Like, Coolidge was pretty good looking.
Well, who was it? Johnson, I think it was.
Johnson.
He had a huge Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson with his Johnson. Yeah, his fucking third leg.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. No, I think that even if Bernie was to get in at this point, maybe in 2016 it would have been different, but at this point where we're at now, even if Bernie were to get in and somehow not die in the next 3 or 4 years, he couldn't do enough. Not enough can be done at this point. This goes back to the problem of the system. There is no world where any Democratic politician in our current state has enough power or the ability or even the fucking wherewithal or will to do what needs to be done to change shit around here. And even if they did, I bet you they'd fucking, accidentally shoot themselves in the back of the head 12 times someday. That's probably how that go.
Yep. And we have to have another thing we have to have, I kind of want it, but it needs to be absolutely reworked. Supreme Court.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Instead of reinterpreting the Constitution to mean what they want it to mean, which since we have a completely rogue Supreme Court, where we've had them unanimously vote on things that are terrible. Well, it was 8-1 or something like that. One person voted with a reasonable mind. But yeah, they need to be reworked to where they just follow what the Constitution says, what it says. Don't make up stuff. Don't be well, it should mean this. No, I don't care what you think it should mean. What you're saying is wrong. It is wrong. If it does not benefit the people, it is wrong.
Here's one for you. Would you want to keep the Constitution?
Well, I mean, we'd have to make a new one.
Yeah.
It'd have to be rewritten. So it'd be the new America. The new California Constitution.
the new California Republican Constitution. No, we would need a new Constitution. And one of the things that I would axe right away is, what is it? The one that says that slavery, the 13th Amendment, where slavery is illegal except when you're fucking imprisoned and then you could be used as slave labor. That's one of the things that has to go immediately. Because slavery is still legal in the United States. Remember. Yeah. Slavery is still fucking legal in the United States. So get rid of that. And then, just generally rewrite the entire Constitution and write it in clear, modern, lawyer speak. So there is no fucking question on what we mean with whatever we're talking about. With the Second Amendment, how, what does a well-regulated militia mean? There's a billion fucking interpretations of that. None of that shit. That cannot be allowed. It has to be simple and plainly put in a way that nobody can misunderstand.
Yep.
Yeah, not even lawyers.
Yeah, common speak, at least so it's understandable. And if you have to make a paragraph, 20 paragraphs, so there's no way around this shit. No fucking loophole.
Yep. And Carlitos asked about, 90% of countries have rewritten their constitutions since 1945. Yeah. Oh, and that's another thing. A fucking huge pump injection of money into our education system to totally fucking rebuild our education system to the point where it would be the best on the fucking planet. I would even say the best in the galactic quadrant, dude. I want an education system that literally makes people so jealous that we have an influx of immigrants that we get so big we can't even fucking control it. Okay, like I want our education to be the absolute best the planet has to offer.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I'm completely pro that. I want racism to go, like 100%. We got to find a way to make that end. This neo-nationalist bullshit needs to end. It's, God, more than anything, I want racism to find a way to be gone. Like that has to be a super severe crime.
Well, see, that
because we're not different. We're all fucking humans.
Well, yeah, racism as it exists today will end, and probably sooner than people think. Because at some point, well after we're dead, it's still going to happen after we're all dead. But when there's a point in our history, if we survive and don't go extinct, where we will all just basically look the same race-wise. We're all going to be kind of like dark-skinned Asians, effectively. That's more or less what we're all going to look like. So at that point, racism as it exists today will end. But at that point, also, there's going to be a new form of segregation or identity politics, unless we squash the identity politics, period.
Yeah.
Trump didn't win the young vote. No, he didn't. But the thing is that most people who should have voted and could have voted didn't. And the reason for that isn't because that they supported Trump. It's because the Democrats offered dick.
Yeah. Yeah. Kamala's best messaging came the day before the election, which a ton, like all mail-in votes were already done by then. Like you can't call and be like, "Hey, I want to get it back. I fucked up." Yeah, it's too late. You're screwed. And most people aren't even watching that one. Like it's done. They already made up their mind.
Well, and also most of the people are so cynical with the government, as they fucking should be at this point, that they heard her say that and said, "Oh, it's bullshit. It's a lie.
Yeah,
it's bullshit." Anything these people say.
She had to come out. Her and what's his name, Waltz, were told basically, okay, stop this stuff, because the DNC had to get involved and be like, no, now you're going to basically be seen with Hillary everywhere. Everything's going to go downhill for you because of this. It was, God, that campaign was a disaster. And it was like right after it started getting like hot, like they were coming out and they were being vocal and just straight up talking mad shit. That was fantastic to hear. They were talking mad shit. They were matching shit talking for shit talking, and they were doing a better job of it. And then they were told, stop, don't do that. Shame on you.
Here's the other thing too, is that the Democrats, even fucking now, walk away. Well, they're total fucking shit. Yeah, but they walk away with the idea that they should wind up, cozying up more to the right to try and get more right-leaning people to vote for them, when in reality they should be distancing themselves as far as they fucking can from anything on the right in order to appeal to the people who, the majority of Americans who don't agree with right-wing philosophy and ideology. They just don't. They're not racist. They're not fucking stupid. They believe education is good. They don't think billionaires should exist. Like, they're tired of getting fucked with money. Like these things that are not right-wing ideals, most people agree with. But yet the Democratic Party decides to go further fucking right because they think that's going to get them votes. Because they think the majority voted for Trump. No. Fucking 2% of the country actually supports Trump. That's it.
And bigotry.
Yep.
They didn't want to vote for a woman. Woman bad.
Yeah.
Can't have that.
Dude, I blame both sides for that, especially because when Hillary ran, you had the I'm with her stickers, and a lot of fucking Dems and libs were saying that they're voting for her just because she has a pussy. Literally, that is the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard, dude. Vote on policy, not what swings between your fucking legs. That goes into the identity politics. Fucking kill identity politics.
Trump light. Yeah, Republican light is what the Democratic Party is. They're just straight up Republican light. And the further more the right goes, the further right Democratic Party goes.
Ratchet effect.
It was like right after Kamala lost. You had those Democrats coming out and saying like, "Oh yeah, we need to stop all this trans nonsense. We need to blah blah blah," just spouting out like Republican ideals. And it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, they're fucked, dude. The Democratic Party is dead. Mark my words, they're dead. They're never going to win again. We're going to have a new party form.
Yeah, they re-voted. They changed their vote to get rid of what's his face from it, David
Hogg.
Yeah, there we go, Hogg.
Yep. The moment Hogg came out was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking purge the Democratic Party of all the wastes and bullshit assholes. They were like, get him out.
Yeah, like, oh, no, we have to do a recount. Something went wrong here. We can't have this.
Oh, look at that. The vote was wrong. We got to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Joe Rogan. Fuck Joe Rogan. Like 100%.
Monkey man. Joe Rogan. Fucking literally an ape with a talk show. The Democrats are trying to find their own Joe Rogan, and it's probably gonna if it's Hassan Piker, I'm gonna have an aneurysm, dude.
I honestly feel, because like I've said this before, I don't believe his full story about being stopped in the airport. Yes, he was questioned.
Yeah,
he said that, the government confirmed that. That part was confirmed, but his timeline and what he said is completely fucking it goes against itself. Like he says, oh yeah, it's questioned for like what he said, 2 hours or 4 hours, something like that. His messages were 20 minutes apart max from when he said he was being pulled aside and from when he was released. He said in his like the 20-minute later one, oh yeah, I was already released.
Yep. Yeah, he's a liar, dude. He's a fucking hypocrite and a liar, and anyone who looks into him at all knows this shit. He's a fucking liar. He's a hypocrite. He has a rich daddy. He was part of the Young Turks. He's a fucking multimillionaire. He basically he's just a liar. He's a liar and a hypocrite. He lives in a fucking mansion.
Carlitos had said on Discord, it's wrong that that people are trying to have him deplatformed. Like the guy, leader of or CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, trying to get him deplatformed. That's bullshit too. Like the Anti-Defamation League dude is a fucking Zionist. So eat a dick.
Yep.
Like I don't like Hassan, but don't deplatform him for that shit. He can have his followers. I really don't care. Rogan can have his followers. I really don't care. They're both dumb.
Hassan has the right to be fucking stupid online. That he definitely has that right. And all of his stupid, drooling followers who play at politics have the right to follow him without any questioning. But I don't know. You shouldn't be bombing people off the internet because you disagree with them in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, let him have his Palestine view. Yeah. I mean, fuck Hassan, dude. Fuck Hassan.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit, but keep him on the internet.
Yeah, just don't make him the talking head for the Democratic Party. I would rather have Pac-Man, and Pac-Man is bland as fuck. He has no stance. Like, I would rather have that. At least that's something. I mean, preferably Farron Cousins, because he's one of my favorites on there, because he is knowledgeable. He understands things. He leans further left than he talks, at least on Ring of Fire.
Yeah, and dude, we've seen that before. He definitely leans further left than the shit he talks about, but he knows he has to play, the line with the Democrats and fucking liberals and shit. I don't think that Farron is a liberal. I think he's probably more of a leftist. But I'd rather have anybody but Hassan Piker be the voice of the Democratic Party, dude. But they're going to pick him. They're going to go with him.
Yeah, and there's this for Pac-Man. Last week he did a video called "I'm Leaving the Country."
Oh, fuck him, dude. He did one of those?
Yes, and his whole thing was like, I'm not doing it now, but I'm just preparing, and I think everybody should kind of be prepared in case they need to at some point.
Bro, people can't even afford fucking rent. You think they have enough money to get out of the country?
Yeah. Yeah, and I was one of those dumbasses that clicked on the clickbait just to be like, why? Like, why? What the fuck are you talking about? And it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's like, you are an asshole.
Yeah, dude, I've hated Pac-Man since I saw him at first. And I'm telling you, I've said this to you before, off show, that the look in his eye, man, He looks like a
dead.
fucking sociopath.
Yeah.
He looks like a sociopath.
Well, have you ever seen pictures of him? He used to show him on his like live streams, and it'd be of him with like his plants or like with family and stuff, doing stuff. He looks normal there. But yeah, when he's doing his show, he's just looking dead-eyed.
Yeah, dude. He is a soulless husk, man. There's something uncanny about him that triggers my like fight or flight response.
Yeah.
Oh, and Crystal and Kyle saying people should look into renting an apartment in Europe. They were really saying that, dude.
I believe it. There's been a lot of TikTokers saying like, I have my second house or apartment in China.
Oh, they're fucked. They're stupid.
And it's like, dude, I can't fly to China because that ticket is way too expensive. It's out of my budget. There's no fucking way. How am I gonna get my shit there? I'm just gonna sell everything? Like, fuck everything. Fuck everything.
Yeah, but these people have more money than we even know how to fucking spend, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna get rid of all my clothes because I have to sell it all in order to even get half the plane ticket.
Also, you know what? That's another fucking thing. I want the left to stop fucking standing for China. I'm tired of it, dude. China is not a good place. China, not number one. Okay. China bad. And we need to stop fucking acting like China isn't some extremely horrific, fucking god awful authoritarian hellscape. Okay. That I feel bad for the people who live within it because they're getting fucked hard by their government. And I feel terrible for the fact that both our people and their people are being pitted against each other when we have more in common than people might think. Look at fucking Helldivers. Helldivers 2 did more for US-China relations than anything in the last like 50 years, dude. Like, I mean, the Chinese people are good people. They're very different compared to Western cultures. They're very different compared to our cultures and shit. And that can be a little jarring for some people because like it's like, like Europe has different cultures. No, China is like totally fucking different from us with its people. But we have more in common than people might think. And I'm tired of by China, Carlitos and I, all of us mean the CCP, not the people of China, but the Chinese Communist Party. People that quote leftists, basically libs and Dems, need to stop fucking saying China's a good place or acting like China is the answer to all of our problems.
Yeah, and also we have to make sure there's a separation of socialism and communism, because socialism purely by itself is not going to work. Communism purely by itself is a fucking disaster. But magically, if you combine those two and add in the trifecta of democracy, wow, fucking wow.
Tarted tankies, yes. No, but I'm tired of people saying like, oh, socialism is the answer. Well, that's like saying fucking money is the answer. It's like saying fire is the answer. Like fire is always the answer. Oh, fire is kind of always the answer. Yeah, violence is always the answer. But you can't just say like, oh, socialism is going to fix everything. No, socialism is a tool in a greater toolkit. Okay.
Yeah.
That we need to use more of to be able to unfuck this system. So there are elements of the socialist philosophy that we could use to make a better government. But just saying socialism don't fix it is fucking stupid. It shows a total lack of understanding of how shit's going to fucking work.
Well, we also know that people in this country don't understand what socialism is. They don't understand what communism is. They don't understand democracy. I mean, that one's clear as fucking day in this year.
Yeah. Well, just in general, they've never understood it. But they don't even understand our voting system. Like, dude, if most people understood how our voting system works, they wouldn't fucking vote. They wouldn't vote. Like, number one is just the Electoral College. Like, that alone should make you be like, fuck it. Why the fuck am I voting? Because like you said, like if you're a leftist and you live in a right state, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
What's the point? But
like Texas has some nice strongholds. And people keep saying, oh, Texas is going to flip blue this year. No, because it's gerrymandered to fucking hell. There's no way it can turn blue.
No, it never will. But also, Al Munson said about that. You don't think most people think China in general think China is a good place. You're right. I don't think most people think that China is a good place in general. Specifically, I'm talking about like leftists or people who claim that they're leftists. Basically, people who go with trends online. What?
Libtards?
Libtards and people who ride trends on Reddit. Like those people usually seem to lean more tanky and talk about China as this like great place, and they buy all the bullshit propaganda that China puts out with big YouTubers and with different like news places and sites. It just China's pumping out fuckloads of propaganda to make it look like a better place than it really is. And I'm tired of the people who are buying that in particular, because you see a lot of them online at least.
And that is what those people are, what everybody considers when they're talking about politics in this country as the far left. Yeah. They are the far left. And it's like, no, dude, not at all. They are nothing. Like they're nothing, because communism ends up wrapping back around. Like it turns, that's why some people have said it's a horseshoe, almost like politics in this country. It's a horseshoe, because once you start to get to the end of one side of the far left, which comes with the communists, you go back into the Republican side, the far right.
Yeah, I mean, with the baseline ideologies of the people who don't understand the differences, yeah, you wind up basically going to the same place. Yep. Carlitos is rioting because we brought up horseshoe theory. Now, there are elements of horseshoe theory that
some douchebag pulled that out on me on TikTok on a video, and I had to like tell him like, I mean, not really. Not like, really, if you look at it right, because people like say it's not a straight line, it's a horseshoe. And it's like, no, dude, you guys might be stuck in this horseshoe, but I'm over here on a completely different universe.
Yeah, so some people who don't understand the shit that they're trying to talk about kind of fit into the horseshoe. The reality of the situation is that it's not a line and it's not a horseshoe. It's a fucking web. It's a web. Because nothing about politics is just, you cannot boil anything political down to, oh, it's this, or oh, it's that. Like it is a tangled fucking mess of ideas that work together to create something either terrible or really good. And we're in the terrible part. So we need to have people start talking more about the other shit that goes with like socialism. How do we apply socialism? How do we, what kind of socialism are we talking about? What do we do to try and enact those elements of socialism that we could have within our own government? Not just socialism, not just communism, not just whatever the fuck. And I don't know. It just, there's a lot of people who just don't get it. And no, Antifa and the Proud Boys are not the fucking same. Just like people get so like pedantic with this shit. So we've said it before that both the parties are the same. The Republicans and Democrats are the same. And is that true? No, it's not true. The Democrats and the Republicans are different. There are differences between both of those parties. However, that's a pedantic, like nitpicky breakdown of it. We could do that if you really want on how they're all different, because there are differences between the two parties. But for the average person, for Joe Blow living down the street who understands fuck all about politics, who doesn't pay attention to any of this shit, are they different to that person? No, they're not. They're not.
Yep.
We need a political compass meme and place it. Political compass meme and place everyone in it as they enter the server. Just fucking boot the people who don't fit the criteria.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yep.
No, but yeah, I think if we're talking about an ideal government, I am a syndicalist. Carlitos and I have talked about this before, where it's he's gone past syndicalism because he's become too bitter for the hope of syndicalism, which I understand. I will get there. But I think syndicalism or anarcho-syndicalism in particular would be the ultimate form of government that I would love to see, where there is no centralized like federal government as we have it today, but it's a federation of unions that have a hierarchy and a board effectively. And any type of work that you could do is unionized and part of a, like, I forget what they call it, like a cabal, effectively, a group of unions that exist within that field that you work in, and they answer to a board that is representatives that are elected through direct democracy from these lower unions to vote on bigger matters. It's a direct democracy from the top to the bottom. That we could do a 15-hour fucking video on it, but anarcho-syndicalism would be my perfect government.
Which that actually reminds me too. Go back to the whole voting thing and people campaigning. If you are out there telling just complete bullshit lies about what you're going to be doing in your term if you get elected, that's also
Boot.
treason. I don't give a fuck. Like, you're done. You are done. You are toast.
Boot.
Yeah, like Trump and his I'm not going to touch any of these things, and he's just destroying them. He's looking out. I'm looking out for the worker. You're lying. You're not at all.
No. Well, none of them are, dude. Not and that's where I get hung up on that, because it's like the number one fucking hurdle that we have is to convince, right now, the first fucking thing we've got to do to get anywhere near anything better is to convince people who don't believe in the bullshit that Trump spits out that their friends are not the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party will never fucking help you, period.
Yep. Yep, like Biden. Biden did some okay things in his first 2 years while he had the full House and Senate, it was just all blue. He did some okay things, but he didn't do enough. And that's what it comes down to. And that was the plan. Don't do enough. Do just a nice little sprinkling of crumbs, and that'll keep people with you. That'll keep them supporting you. Because you gave them you ate the cookie, but there were crumbs in the Chips Ahoy box, so you gave them those.
Yeah, well, that's always been the policy of the Democratic Party. Always.
Yep.
That's just
because they still bow down to economos. They have to bow down to their corporate overlords because they are owned, which are the same corporate overlords that control the Republican Party.
Yep. And it's I don't know. I just think that the first step that we have to take is to try and make people a little more hopeless, politically speaking. As bad as that sounds, they have to start losing faith in the parties that exist today. And I think that's begun. I think we've started that.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be nice when everybody wakes the fuck up.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think we're going to, I don't know. Not everybody's going to wake up, but enough can. Just enough. And I think that we may see that hopefully in the next couple of years. But, here's another question. Realistically speaking, instead of fantasy land like we're talking about with our perfect government, let's look at it this way. What are some immediate and more realistic changes that you would like to see within our government as it exists today? Also,
first, I'm just going to say fucking get corporate money out of fucking politics. That's hands down. That needs to fucking stop now.
Yes. Yep. I would say we could do this. We could do a total reworking. First, a purge, and then a total reworking of the SCOTUS. A total reworking, which it would be kind of drastic, and the president would probably have to do it with an executive order or some shit. But I think that's number one of the things that we should do.
Yeah.
Term limits. Carlito says, yes, term limits.
Oh, yeah. The SCOTUS especially, they need their term limits. This is not a lifetime appointment. Go fuck yourself.
Yep. But everybody needs term limits. Yeah. Would you agree with an age limit?
Oh, yeah, 100%. So there's one thing I would say, Bernie is super old, but he is also very seasoned in it because he's been in in Senate his whole fucking life, it feels like.
Basically, yes.
My whole life, 100%.
Yeah, both are our lives consecutively combined.
Fucking he could stay on as an advisor, and that's it. He has no actual say in anything, but he can advise a younger generation. And I would say that's okay. Because we have that with Supreme Court right now. We do have advisor judges that kind of help them out if they have questions. I don't oppose to that, but they have no fucking say.
Yeah. No, and that would be totally like if you want to step down after you reach whatever age is the limit. Let's say I'm going to say 45, 50. I think that's fair.
Yeah, 50.
Yeah, 50. You step down at 50. If you want to go into an advisory role for the person who replaces you, 100%, you could do that. Because you have the experience, you've been in the system, you know how shit works, you can help guide them and become a better thing. But the problem is that you have to have some kind of oversight for that, I think. Like there should be a committee or a task force or some shit that ensures that there's no like, and I don't even know how you'd fucking do this. Maybe it can't be done, but tries to ensure that this person who's in the advisory role isn't like, you know, the fucking the uncle of the king whispering in the ear of the child who's now king. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah, I wouldn't say they actually like sit there and watch over a single person.
Yeah.
Like you would have like say 4 of them that kind of just help advise the group.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would be feasible and better. Representative age limit. Yeah, Sparrow, we're mentioning that representative age limit where everybody in our government would have to have an age cap. And if you go past that age, you're automatically booted. You have an emergency election. If it's in an off time, like you're out, you can't hold out. Yeah, you know what? Proportion to the general populace, that's an interesting idea. So look at the average age of the area that they're responsible for, and then the age limit is based off of the general age in that area. That'd be complicated, but that'd be fucking
Florida is gonna be
their age cap has to be like 90 or their age cap. Yeah, the cap. If Florida's at a solid 85 years old for their age cap, or just a federal vote by age. Yeah. Well, and that, you know, here's another thing. Government standardized education and testing in order to be able to vote. And I'm not talking the way they did it in the 1800s to make sure that people who are illiterate can't vote, like black people in particular, but do it in a way that's fair and regulated and observed by another party, where you could test people, educate people, and make sure that they have a solid understanding of our political system in order to even be able to vote.
Yeah. Like how GED classes should be, or more like how English second language classes are taught.
Yeah. Yep.
Where they actually work you through it. They try to make sure you understand these words. Like those are well structured. Have it like that. It will teach them and help them understand the things in a simple way that they can.
Yep. I think that's totally feasible. I mean, shit, dude, here's the sad part. Immigrants that become naturalized know more about our own fucking government and how it works than most of the people who vote.
Yep.
Like, that's wild.
Yep. I also want the immigration reform, like 100%, and not the way that all these fucking idiots are talking about it. Oh, we had an open border. No, you fucking didn't. We never did. Just shut the fuck up. If you're saying that, you have 0 IQ. Go to hell.
You have negative IQ.
Yeah, like there are bricks smarter than you.
You got brain cave. Fucking yeah, no, like totally reform immigration in ways that like we want to promote immigration, especially because one, a lot of immigrant. Well, so right now the way it like why someone would want to immigrate here will change if we change other things about the country. So like right now, people want to immigrate here because they're dealing with shit in their own country that might get them killed, or there's something bad going on. They have more opportunity here. But then when they get here, they're just taken advantage of and put into jobs that pay like shit because it's all under the table and that nobody else wants to do. So we'd have to target that eventually, and that'd be more of an economic reform. But generally speaking, reform immigration, I think would be a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, they're coming here, they're working, they're paying tax. That's why I hate this administration right now for their just blatant racist fucking attacks on people who are just not white.
Yeah.
Like these are people who are paying their fucking taxes. Is Trump paying his fucking taxes? No.
Fuck no.
No. He's the one who's committed fucking tax fraud. And he's saying like, oh yeah, these are illegal people. It's like, dude, you have 34 fucking felonies. 34 felonies, and you're calling other people criminals?
Yep.
Your son snorts more coke than fucking anybody else, and you're saying that they're the druggies? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yep. It's rules for thee and not for me. That's the name of the game at this point. You know what? That's another thing we could do feasibly is hold these fuckers accountable. If someone breaks the law, doesn't matter who you are, politician, fucking low life, bum living under the bridge, whatever. Not that bums are low. I'm just saying, like, whatever. I got to be politically correct, I guess.
They would be something I would work on too. The homeless situation, that would be.
Oh yeah.
I want a whole fucking organization set up for that, like a true organization that is well fucking funded.
Well, X funded, like funded by X money. Whatever money you need, you get it. And they deal with
X money, not X money, because Twitter.
Well, I refuse to call it X until Elon Musk acknowledges his daughter, right?
Yeah.
Is trans, until Elon Musk says that his daughter is his daughter, I refuse to call it X. But yeah, unfuck the homeless situation, first of all, which can be done. It can be fucking done. We could do it without having to pay more taxes. Anybody who says that shit doesn't know anything about the fucking numbers. They're wrong. We could literally end homelessness without changing a fucking thing in our daily lives. But with politicians, when they break the law, they need to be held accountable. That's something we could change. That's something we could do.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think I talked about this in a video. I did do a homeless video. I want, like, housing needs to be set up for them. We need to have, like, help them if they want to get off drugs. And try to, like, show them the bright side of getting off these drugs.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that all homeless people are homeless because they're druggies. Like, that's not a thing. I've met people who are just, they got straight fisted. They had no say in the matter.
Yeah.
They struck out because of our country is such a fucking disaster.
Yep. But
we need to help them better themselves.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of that, because a lot of homeless people wind up in jail because cops are dicks and we have draconian laws about this shit. A total reformation of our jailing criminal justice system. Because the ultimate goal of jail is to reform someone. We're not reforming anybody with our jail system, our prison system. We need to unfuck our prison system because people go and paired with the unfucking of the prison system, you also have the other side of it where you get out and because you have a record, nobody's going to hire you. So what the fuck are you going to do for money? You're going to commit crime.
Yep.
So reforming the prison system in general, but then also basically having an organization, a committee, a group, a party, whatever, who works with prisoners who are now released, former prisoners, to get them job placement in places that actually pay them enough to prevent them from doing more fucking crimes.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. The whole criminal system has to be reformed.
Yep.
Like back in the day, how people were going to fucking basically prison for life for having like fucking a gram of fucking weed on them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like, before the invention of DNA testing and shit, you had a lot of black people. There was one black child, an actual fucking child, who was accused of like essaying some white woman, and they put him on fucking death row for it. Turns out she lied about it.
Yep. She was just a racist piece of shit.
Like that shit, dude. That's shit like that. Our whole, like, our investigation system, our judicial and like legislative and or really the judicial system in general also has to change, which we can make changes for these things to have it be more fair, to have it be less biased, to have it be more inquisitive and actually accurate, to have it like not be used as a tool for enemies of the state or people who you just don't like, or black people in particular, Hispanic people, Asians, Arabic people, shit like that.
Yep, because we can't forget that we had internment camps for fucking Asian people. It wasn't just Japanese. Asian people during fucking World War II because we were
they
just racist pieces of shit.
They were all Japanese. That was the thought process.
Yep.
Have you guys what is this? Heard about
the shit. I was at it.
Whoops. Yeah, have you heard about the gross national happiness index? I think I've heard about that, and where people are just like, they gauge how happy people are, generally speaking, and we're pretty fucking miserable.
Let's see what's at. Does it tell us like live?
Yeah, live count of American happiness.
It's 2022.
America mad. America
I want
sad.
today. No, it stops at 2022. It looks like
America happy.
Yeah, it's no. Deeply happy.
Aren't we upset, generally speaking?
Yeah, I mean we should be.
We fucking should be.
Yeah. So next week we're gonna have a fun conversation because the day before or the day after our show next week is I think it's isn't it the 10th or is it the 14th? When is Trump's fucking celebration parade? It's the 14th. That's his birthday.
Yeah, 14th.
June 14th. That is the same day that fucking Anonymous is leaking their big surprise. So that's going to change everything.
Oh, no. They said it was the 4th of July. That was one because they said it was like 30-something days or whatever.
Yeah, that was posted at the beginning of May.
Or no, that was like a week ago or some shit. There was there's another one. Hold on. Where the fuck is it?
Oh,
3 weeks ago, they said it was 7 days ago. So 3 weeks ago was the airplane shit. 7 days ago, they talked about something dropping in 38 days, which is the 4th of July. 38 days from when that was put out. Which
I thought, I was looking up something that said fucking same day as his parade.
They might be doing something else because think about it. Anonymous isn't like one group. They're totally decentralized. So one element of Anonymous, at least, is dropping something that they say will literally change the world forever on the 4th of July.
Yeah, I'm really hoping it's the Epstein file. It's just completely unredacted. Show this motherfucker is pedophile kingpin that we pretty much know him to be right next to Epstein, his best friend.
Yeah, dude, I'm convinced he killed Epstein. Not personally, obviously, but I'm like, I can't say that he did.
Especially since those two cunts in the FBI came out and said, oh yeah, he definitely killed himself. Like we checked it all out. He definitely killed himself. Like you guys are being too adamant about that. And the dudes who was the podcaster is now super sketchy and like twitchy when he's like on interviews. So I'm pretty sure he knows exactly what happened. He's just like, oh my God. If I say it, I'm next.
Dude, oh yeah, he's gonna fucking die if he says anything. So, like, yeah, no, but we know Epstein didn't kill himself. Like that's like even your average normie knows that.
Yep. Oh,
Anonymous might have put something
Anonymous
else out.
Sedan announced something at 6/14/23. Yeah, that was a different thing about a massive attack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then who knows though? They might have something else. But the last big one that I heard about with them was July 4th. And then Carlitos also mentioned they hacked the company that was running the flights for immigrants. That was the last big thing that they dropped.
Yep, we just need it to happen. We need something to happen. But yeah, Carlito's has been saying about this, how someone needs to stand in front of a tank on the 14th during the parade.
Yep, tank man. Yep,
I would love that. But I also see Little Hands coming out and being like, "Kill him, shoot him dead, shoot them all," because he's dumb and he doesn't like people protesting against him because he's a piece of shit. I think that could spark something. Would it spark the right thing?
Start something.
I don't know.
Yeah, that may spark something off. Probably not. Probably not. But it might kick something off. If that happens, it probably will kick something off if that happens. Because we're close, dude. We're so close.
It is the protest called No King's Day on that day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this military parade shit is fucking wild, dude. Wild.
Yep.
Like it's some 1940s shit.
Yeah. And it's going to be very interesting. So you're going to have the people who are there support them, and you're going to have the protesters there as well. And the people who are going to support him, you're going to have the Proud Boys and those fucking cunts, and they're going to be carrying their guns. So it could get very, very fucking interesting that day.
Well, is it in DC?
Yeah.
They can't openly carry their guns then, but they'll definitely be armed.
Yeah.
It'll just be pistols and shit.
Probably. Going down, was it Pennsylvania Avenue?
Okay, yeah, so they won't be like openly armed, but just like the people on January 6th, a lot of them had guns. They're probably going to have concealed weapons. So,
yep.
Yeah, waiting on Franz Ferdinand. Yep. Just need the black hand.
Yep.
Metaphor.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one. We'll talk about that event all next week because it's going to be very interesting.
Well, and I assume we're going to talk about it more the week after that because it takes place on the 14th. So, the week of the 16th. Well,
yeah, because I'll be out. I won't even be able to see it because I'll be out camping that week or that weekend.
I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it.
Crap, and I gotta drop the video that Monday.
At minimum, yeah, I'll watch people's coverage of it. Minimum. Catch the highlights.
Yep.
Fucking hell.
Yep. You can watch Pac-Man's coverage of it. I'm sure he'll do something.
I'd rather cut my dick off. I can't fucking stand. I can't stand him, dude. God.
Or watch your buddies. What's his name? I can't think of his name right now. Supreme douchebag of the fucking right. He got caught watching gay porn or listening. They heard his audio of gay porn.
Fuentes?
Yeah, Fuentes. There we go.
Nick Fuentes? Yeah, that fucking scumbag, dude. He's probably going to be jacking off to it. He's going to be like, oh yeah. With his fucking centimeter-long dick. Oh, daddy. That's probably what his fucking coverage is going to be. And then Tim Pool's going to be like, we need a civil war. We need a civil war. It's going to happen. It's going to happen today, guys. Civil war. Civil war. Civil war. Civil war. Civil war. I wear a beanie because I don't want people to know I'm bald.
I went on Tim Pool's Twitter, and he's not so backing daddy that much.
Oh?
Yeah.
Well, his fan base is going to fucking crucify him if that's the case.
Yeah, he's been saying things that are kind of against him. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting change.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking, to be honest.
Yep.
Dim Tool. Did you know he made music?
Oh, was it like Tool?
No, it's god awful. It's fucking ear bleeding, horrific shit. No, he was the singer, maybe still is the singer of a band that nobody's ever heard of. I'm gonna find some of his music and I'll send it to you. I'll text that to you. Just get ready. Get ready with cotton swabs and I don't know, maybe alcohol, something.
It just goes by Timcast Music.
I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah. He has whole fucking music videos and shit. It's wild, dude. And the only reason it exists is because he has the money to fund his own ventures for that shit, but nobody's ever going to fucking listen to it ever.
Tim Pool's beanie is more than just a fashion statement. It is a symbol of his identity as a journalist and public figure. The beanie has become part of his brand, often invoking a sense of familiarity among his audience.
Bruh, you wear the beanie because you're bald. Like, come on. You wear the fucking beanie because you're bald. Now, look, I wore beanies a lot when I had longer hair because it helped contain my hair. Okay. It's a bitch. I have crazy thick ass hair that gets all nuts. It's like fucking, it turns into Medusa. So that's why I wore a beanie. When my hair is short, I don't wear a beanie. Although I know Carlitos has called me the left-wing Tim Pool because I have a beanie on at the end of the videos for that outro that we have on our other channel. But no, he wears the beanie because he's balding and he wants to hide it, which I understand being, upset about balding, like male pattern baldness sucks ass and there shouldn't be a stigma against it. But at least admit it. Like, be honest about it, dude. Just be honest about it.
Yeah.
Or just say to people, look, it makes me feel more comfortable. I feel more comfortable. That's all. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, there is nothing wrong with being bald. As I talk slower to get something pulled up. There is nothing wrong with being bald.
Yeah. Wasn't he like fucking 20 in that picture on the left?
Yeah.
Dude. Yep. Look, here's the other thing though. You're only going to get ridiculed if you look like that and don't accept the fact that you're balding. Like, you've got to accept it. You've got to shave that shit. Just pull the trigger. Yeah. Like, you'll
like he was sober once in his life.
Oh god, dude, he looks so derpy.
Like stupid high, sober, stupid high on ketamine.
Yo, did you see the videos? Like, someone put a compilation together of him at like the election or the inauguration and shit, where he's just like looking like, dude, he is fucking blasted. Blasted. Yep. Oh man.
Yep, he's special. He's
special's a word for it.
Yeah, but he's just weird because he has autism. It has nothing to do with all the drugs.
Yo, I fucking hate those people, dude. I hate those people who are using, like, no, even if he does have autism, that has nothing to do with fucking autism.
Yeah, this is autism.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you're like fucking super autistic, you're like one of those like fucking super autistic people who can't even function. Like, maybe at that point, but he's not that,
Yeah, absolutely.
It pisses me off, man. As the speaker of Autism America, it pisses me off, man.
Yep. All right. Well, I think we're just going to wrap this up. Before we just keep bashing these fucking idiots. Yeah. This was fun. So yeah, next week, like we said, we're going to talk about the Hail Trump parade. Because we have to respect Daddy.
Hail Trump!
Yeah.
Hail Trump!
Yep.
Seek Heil!
What would he look like with a little mustache? Which I didn't know. That's called the toothbrush.
It makes sense. It looks like a fucking toothbrush.
Yeah.
I just call it the Hitler or the Chaplain.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so we'll talk about that, and we'll put up random videos throughout the week. Again, I'm not doing many videos on YouTube or TikTok right now because my arm is it's too much. I mean, you've probably seen me messing with it this whole time. But it's fun.
It gives the other videos room to breathe too. I noticed that.
Yeah. And I wish TikTok would start fucking working.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. Let's see. I posted the video at 6, and it's still sitting at 0 views because for some reason it's not being pushed.
Well, we're in TikTok timeout. That's why.
Yeah. Well, why were we in TikTok timeout this morning? That didn't make any sense. Like, I hadn't posted since May 28th. Post one this morning. Wouldn't accept it. Like, it just 0 views for hours.
one of us probably said a goo goo gaga no bad word and fucking got slapped on the wrist. That's probably it. Or like you said, even the fucking hashtags can get you in trouble. Like, what the
I wonder if this video is titled Sanctuary Cities, if that has something to do with it.
That might. Now we get 6 fucking viewers, dude.
Yeah, apparently at the end. We're logging off.
Hey, everybody.
We're signing off. Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to the end of the show.
Welcome. See you later. Nice knowing you.
We thank you for jumping in, but you came in just a little bit too late. But yeah. So you guys all take care, and we will see you next time.
See ya.